Hello everybody, this is Tina with Tiaz's Treasures. Today I have another Throwback Thursday video for you. This one is featuring the Spellbinders Card Kit of the Month from, let's see, April, another 2022 one. This one is called Picket Fences. So let's open it up and see what I have left. Okie dokie. I have left, well, what is in this kit, and the leftovers that I have are a bunch of foam sentiments, mostly one word, you know, well, okay, 2 words in some of them, but thanks, loving life, friends, together, family, special days, simple joys, stuff like that. We have a stamp set with some nice sentiments. If I use them, I'll read them to you. Some chipboard stickers left. Got a lot of those, as well as the puppy stickers. We have some clear sequins. What's given these color is when they were punched out, the plastic, you know, made little white indents like some hard plastics do when they get bent. Other than that, they're totally clear. We still have our tape, our foam stickers, and our double-sided tape. We have some sentiments left. I can tell by looking at this pack. I must have used a lot of these when I did the original 10 cards because there's not a whole lot left. We've got our dies. Now, our dies happen to be a fence with a little picket fence. We've got 2 wood-grained slats, so we can run that through 3 times, get a little wood grain for our fence. And then the rest are just florals. We've got 1, 2, 3 different flowers here with the centers and greenery, little stems. So that's what's in here. And then we have a pack of my scraps and the pattern paper we have left. Get 2 of all of them. When the kit was new, there were 2 of each. But the ones I used, there's only 1 left of. But I still have most of these, so whatever ones we choose to use. There's couple that must have fallen out. Not a big deal. Yeah, that's a striking looking one. And then for our cardstock, we have the gold that you can see down here. And let me move that out of the way. So we have a half a sheet of yellow, a half a sheet of a light blue. Then we have a lavender, a dark green, let's see, a light green, a pink, okay, and a lighter pink, and a white. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of cardstock, unless I can, 7, 8. I think it originally came with 9 sheets, or are they counting the gold? Let's take a look. 9 pieces of cardstock, so they count the gold as one of the sheets. And we have most of them left. Now with these gold sheets, I have like a half a sheet of another one, so I've been putting these off. These are great. These are foil sheets that have, I don't even know how they're made. They must have like a thin layer of white in the center, but they cut like they're a piece of thick foil. Really nice. Anyhow, let me think about it, and I'm just going to do 5 cards, I think, this kit, because the last one I did was 10 cards, and that took about an hour, and I think that's a bit long for videos. I don't even like listening to myself that long, so I can imagine you doing it. Anyhow, let me figure out what I'm going to make, and I'll be right back. Okie doke. I didn't mention it in the unboxing, but we're going to be using a couple random card sketches again. I found this interesting to use. I have Mojo Monday Sketch 558 and Mojo Monday Sketch 538. So let's go ahead and start. And we are going to start with this one, I believe. The Mojo Monday Sketch 538. So I've got everything cut out here. And I'm going to be using some of these puffy stickers. I haven't quite decided which ones yet. And I've got a little chipboard sticker here. And our 4 pattern papers. Now, these were already in my scrap pile, so I didn't have to cut anything. Well, I had to cut them down a bit, some of them, but I had them all. So that is why I chose the ones I did. Let's get this glued down. Now, I've said it before in the past that these card sketches are suggestions. You don't have to follow them religiously. And this piece of pattern paper, I think, is cut down to a 1/4 inch smaller than what the sketch calls for, but that's what I had. It was already cut, so I just decided to go with it. Not sure if that looks like it's crooked, but I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to go with it anyway. So let's get these. And this one is definitely a little bit shorter. This was 1 3/4. So I didn't feel like cutting a whole sheet of paper to get 2.5 inches when I had this. And like I said, we can just use what we have. Put it over to this side more than the other side because I still want the 2 other sheets of paper, or the things we're putting on, to be more towards the right. And this square, I want to make sure that it is showing some of this on the side here. Anyhow, let's get our little piece of blue paper. Now, because these papers are very thin, they're like copy paper weight, it's really easy to stack a bunch of them on top of each other without them looking bulky. Otherwise, if they were cardstock weight, you might want to put additional pieces of cardstock underneath some of them to raise everything to the same height, so you didn't have all sorts of bumps. Put this right in the middle there. And got that. And so our little pink sheet here is going to go right like that. I think it looks better horizontal than vertical, these little white stripes. And I hope you are having a beautiful Thursday. It is really warm weather here today. It's almost close to 80. And tomorrow is supposed to be cold. It's supposed to drop again. Spring is definitely weird. You know, you get hot and then cold, and we just replaced our 30-year-old central air conditioning. We don't want to take the chance of going to turn it on this year and it not starting. I swear every year for the past 5 years when we've turned it on, I'd be crossing my fingers. Is it going to turn on this year? I always did. And it turned on before we replaced it yesterday. But still, it was old and noisy, and we should save electricity now, among other things. Okay. Got all sorts of sentiments on here. I'm kind of thinking maybe you are awesome. We've got the you are and the awesome. And I think that's what we're going to go with. Why not? Put that kind of right over here. And we'll put the awesome. Could use amazing, but awesome. Everything is awesome. Okay, right there. In the center, and then we're going to put these little hearts right underneath there. And I think this chipboard just works perfectly with the background. And I don't know, do I need to put that up a bit? Because, yeah, maybe up just a little bit so there's not this big gap between the two. Press that down. And do we want to use a little floral? Maybe a couple of these dots. Use these instead of the sequins. Why not? We'll go puffy dot, and another puffy dot way down here. And that's going to be it for our first card. And yep, card number 1. You are awesome. Nice pastel. Okay, number 2. We don't have pastels this time, and this is for Mojo Monday card sketch 558. Now, I didn't notice when I first pulled it, but we've got 2 diagonals, 2 card or pieces kind of cut with a diagonal going across them. So again, these were in my scraps, and that's what I used. All of these were scrapped, and that's why I picked these. We got, it's going to go like that. And we've got, I hope your day is filled with all the things that matter most. That's from the stamp that was in the kit. And I stamped it using some Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Sage ink. I thought that would look good. And I cut it out with a die in my stash, a stitch die, which kind of matches this as well for the stitching. And I got a little ink splotch there, and I couldn't get it erased. So we are going to fix that after I glue everything down. So let's go ahead and start gluing these pattern papers and get them going. And I'm kind of having fun revisiting these card kits, you know, just out of, I just randomly pulled them down. We'll probably get a few more from 2022 if I pull down the ones that have been in the stack where this one was found. Or I've got, I think, some older ones. Maybe, I don't know. I've got like a bunch yet to go through. So if you like this, please let me know, and I will keep doing it. But yeah, I think 5 cards probably makes more sense than 10. And let's get this kind of flush there. Come on. I want to get them so they're together. And if they're not together, I could always put like something across there, but no, I think we've got it perfectly the way we need it. And get this one, this little pretty floral. I liked this paper a lot, but other than on this card, this is, I think, the only place I use this. Try to get that there. Might be down a bit, but, well, it's not a big deal either way. And we're going to put this, let's see, just like that. Yep, I think that's fine. Wait, this is supposed to go underneath both, or I mean, the top and the bottom, so we'll just move it down just a tiny bit. I wonder who comes up with these card sketches. And I know a lot of them involve using a lot of different elements and different papers, which could probably be fun when you have a bunch of pattern papers like this in a kit. I think it almost screams use a card sketch. They're the perfect thing for card sketches. I'm gonna get this down. Come on. My glue press. Don't get clogged. I got backup glue, but I think I might need to fill my glue bottle. It's getting a little bit slow. My glue is drying before I could even do anything with it. Okay. And right in the middle of this, it's like, no, you're going to have to get a pin out for this one too. Come on. Get the pin. Everybody's enjoying watching me open up my glue. I have to do this like numerous times when I'm crafting. No matter what I'm using, it seems like always having a pin nearby, and it didn't work. Sorry, everybody. Let's pull out the big one. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to be upset if it does not. I might have to cut this part out because nobody's going to want to watch me play with numerous glue bottles. Well, at least you know that you're not the only one. That's coming out a lot. But, okay. I hope your day is filled with all the things that matter. And get that right in the center more, I guess. In the center of the card. And we are going to put this little blue heart that I found in another kit right there over our ink splotch. It's kind of off to the side. There goes my voice, sorry. But I'm going to put it right there. And that's going to be it for card number 2. And my glue is dripping. Okay, so I hope you liked that card. Now let's move on. And we're done with the card sketches with 5 cards. I only brought in 2 card sketches. So I have got some different things. I've got a piece of the pattern paper, and then I've got die cuts using the dies in the kit, a chipboard sentiment, and the fence. This fence is a lot of fun, and I also have an arch die. I cut out a frame arch. I think I used a Simon Says stamp die to cut this out, and that's what we are going to be using for our 3rd card. And I've only got 1 card where I used the die cuts that came with this kit in the die pack, or the ephemera pack, I guess might be a better term for it. I think they used to call them die cuts, but in the ephemera pack, so you can differentiate from the ephemera and the different dies that cut these out. Get this down. Probably didn't need as much glue as I've got on this thin paper. And these are all A2 card bases. They're all Spellbinders card bases. And this pattern paper is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put the frame down next. Got to be careful we don't flood it with glue. See if we can just avoid that. This is going to dry clear, so if some of it seeps out, not a big deal, but I don't like getting the glue on the gold foil on the front because it kind of looks like smudges. And that's no good. Let's just skip there where I got my hands. Try to get a little bit. Okay, and I think we're going to put this near the bottom. Closer to the bottom. There we go. And my son just texted me a little bit ago before I started recording, asking if I wanted to go to Cubs opening day tomorrow, as he couldn't find anyone to go with him. And I don't mind being, you know, one of the last people he asked. But can't go. My husband and I are committed to a birthday dinner for my husband's brother. Believe me, though, I'm kind of tempted to be like, it's your brother. I'm going to the game. But nah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, the fact that his son asked me instead of him, it's like, our boy once asked me before you. That's, you know, why did I put this? Why do I want to put this down first? I don't know if that's the best use of my, I should put the florals in first. See, this is what I get when I'm gabbing and going on autopilot. Sometimes you can go on autopilot, but when you're arranging things, not quite so much. I kind of need to figure out. Now, I know they're all going to go within this framework of our arch here, and they can overlap each other. Now these two I glued together already because I had this die move, or the paper move, when I was die cutting it, and one of the petals got cut off, so I'm like, well, let's just put a floral in front of it and go with it. And yeah, you don't need a ton of glue for these. Just kind of get them where you want them to go and be done with it. Okay. Now, these other ones, I might need to glue that piece down just a little bit because he wants to stick up. Of course, once the fence is in front of it, it's not going to stick up, but we'll glue it down anyway. Get that to stay. Come on. And where am I going to put the rest of these? Do I want to cut down any of these? Yes, some of these have got to be shorter. So some of them, I think, we'll cut them down. And, well, this one's already shorter, isn't it? As I talk to myself. Well, I'm talking to you. I'll cut this one down a little bit, too. I'll get that one down just a tiny bit so it's more there. And we want the florals to go over the greenery if we could. And we've got this pink one and that blue one. We got to get the blue one next to this purple, this one here, because we don't want it right next to the blue daisy. That'll be kind of iffy. And do we even need this guy here? I don't think we do. And we've got you here. Well, let's glue this pink one down next. We'll go from there, because I think that we may just go ahead and put the little blue one that matches the little purple one that's already glued down. I think we're going to put that in between the yellow and the pink. We'll put that one right like that. We'll cut off a little bit of it and glue it down. And there we go, 3 spots. That'll work. And now, do we want this one there? Or I think this purple one we'll put next to the pink one and the blue one on the end. Oh, there's a train outside. I doubt you can hear it though. I don't always hear things from the outside turn up on my videos. Make sure it doesn't go over this arch, the gold. And lastly, our little daisy. And this one, I might put glue on each of these little petals, just a tiny glue dot. I'm not squeezing the bottle at this point. I'm just letting the glue kind of naturally flow out. That way, I hopefully don't get a great big blob of it. And I do not care if this flower goes over this a little bit there, because we're still going to put this, and I still have the glue on there. It looks like it didn't dry. I'm going to put that right there inside the frame. Now these have been popped up, these slats. I put the wood grain on top, and I used the foam that came in the kit. What I did, I used the foam that I used on last week's, and I just cut off these edges here so I was able to get the skinny enough, because these foam dots are a little too, the squares are a little too thick, but so I could get it skinny enough to fit in there. So now we've got this chipboard that says grateful for the small things, the big things, and everything in between. So we're going to use this chipboard sentiment and put it inside our arch right at the top. And I'm debating on whether I want to use this. There is a chipboard bluebird that came in the kit that I could use. I could put it right. You know what? I wonder if that would look good. Where's my chipboard? We got a chipboard bluebird. And let's take that off. And I bet I kind of like the way that looks. It leaves it so it's not quite so plain between the sentiment and the flowers. I'm going to put a little extra glue on this one. This one seems like it might fall off. And we want it right like that. And that's going to be it for this card. Card number 3. And no, I'm not going to use any of those clear sequins. I really don't like those. I just don't. If anything, I would cut out little gold little circles. You use a little circle punch and use your gold foil to do that. But I didn't think about that until just now this second, so I don't have any. So that is card number 3. Now for card number 4, was that card 3 or 4? Oh, no, that was 3. So for card number 4, I found these 2 that were already cut with the perfect like diagonal pieces of paper. And I'm like, why waste them? They look good together. So we're going to use them. Oh, waste not, want not. Let's glue these down, get them going. Oh, where did I just put my glue? I put it over here. I think I'm debating if I should use this glue bottle and try to fill up my glue press or just keep it in here. I've got other bottles of craft tacky glue I could try putting in my glue press. Does anybody else have a glue press? And what do What do you normally, what's the best glue do you find to put in there? I think Amy R. from Prairie Paper and Ink was putting Craft Tacky glue from Simon Says in her glue press. I think she had better luck with it than I did. Mine tended to clog up a bit more. Of course, hers could have been clogging and we just didn't see it on camera. Okay, let's glue that down. There's a few different card makers I enjoy watching. She is one of them. She tends to use paint to splatter all of her cards. I always forget to use it. I wouldn't use it as often as she did if I was going to splatter. But, I mean, I've got stuff to splatter, don't get me wrong. I just forget to do it most of the time. It's not a technique that I use that often, but I do have different splatter mediums that I could use for whatever reason. Yeah, I just forget. And now that I'm talking about it, I probably should do it now, but I'm not going to. Okay, I am not gonna rip my paper trying to get that littlest tiny sliver to go together. I have got 2 banners that I cut out. This is a piece of chipboard. This is a piece of chipboard that came in the kit. Of course, these papers came in the kit. And this paper, which I said was white when I was going through the different cardstock that came in the kit, but it's actually a pale cream. And I cut that out using a Spellbinders scallop die. And I think I'm going to just put that there, and we are going to, well, you know what? Let's do our banners first so I have plenty of room. Getting ahead of myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack these different fishtail banners. And I'm just going to stack them all in the corner. And our sentiment is going to be this, "You make me happy." And that's all we're going to be using for a sentiment. And our last card, we don't even have a sentiment. I'm like, so, you know, if you make cards and you want to just have some on hand to, you know, do what you want. If all of a sudden you need a thank you card or a birthday card last minute, you've got a card with no sentiment that you can just grab. Or if you're like me and have 10 million cards that you made laying around and just never seem to have the one you want when you need it. Which, yeah. It's like I did not have any baby cards, and then I've been doing nothing but baby showers, it seems like lately. None for my kids, unfortunately. And I've done some funerals where I haven't had sympathy cards on hand. And what else? Retirement. I had no retirement cards. I mean, just go figure. It's like, anything else I could possibly not have a card for when I have 10,000 other cards? Yeah, that ended up not being in the middle because I've got this chipboard that I want to put there. And it might, I mean, maybe a little bit bigger piece of background scalloped circle would have worked, but this is what I had, and so this is what I'm using, because I cut that circle out before I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. And this is card number 4. Now for card number 5, this is going to be the simplest one of the lot. I have got a piece of the pattern paper, and I have got the ephemera that came in the kit. Some florals here, and like I said, we are not putting a sentiment. We're just going to slap this one together really fast, and we can always put happy birthday on the bottom or thanks, any number of things. It's just going to be a very quick card that we slapped together. Just because we slapped it together does not mean that it's not going to be pretty, though. Let's start with this one. This is going to go upside down because I want this to go over it. And I kind of want it to even. I mean, I could probably cut it to, but let's see. It's a little bit right there. Get this down. Right about there. What was it? It was right about there, I think. I thought about bringing out some press and seal and just using that, but it's, I mean, be for real. There's not that many of these ephemera pieces that I should be able to figure out where most of the die cuts went. Now, I didn't put glue all the way to the top because I want to tuck in some of these pieces. And I didn't press it down totally because I still want to make sure I can get these where I want them. And I mean, we can always cut them if we need to. Get that one more in the middle, a little bit on you. And this one, come on, I'm going to put that there. I might need to cut this down. And we'll cut it down and stick it right there. Yep. Now try to take it out of there so I can get glue on it. That's always fun. Anyhow, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm so much. You wouldn't believe. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much. Are we going to cut this one down? We're going to be able to fit this one? I don't know. Either way, if you made it this far, thank you. I don't know that one. I don't like the way that looks. Put it in there. Nah, you know what? Let's just leave that alone. And that's going to be it. And now when it comes time to put a sentiment on it, we're going to put our sentiment right there on the bottom, whether it's thanks or happy birthday or any other thing we want. That's the space for it. So this is card number 5. I hope you liked my cards. Now let's take a look at all of them again. And let me know which one you liked, if you like them at all. So here is card number 1. We got number 2, 3. I think this one's my favorite. 4. And 5. And that's it for now, everyone. Bye-bye, and I'll see you next time.